Yes, sir, we are back once again. This is your boy J.U.I for another edition of the J.U.I brand vlog. I am your rapper, vlogger, guy, editor, whatever you want to call me. I'm that. Hopefully it's something positive. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. This week on the interwebs, I came across what may be a prototype for what I like to consider the Star Wars speeder bike or the Jet Moto bike. The company Aeroflex has redesigned hover vehicle technology so that it responds to a person's natural body movements. So basically, just like a real bicycle, you can steer it by leaning side to side or forwards and backwards. Just think about it, with 10 more years, these things could be out on the streets and competing with real motorcycles as far as speed is concerned. After that, I imagine the Jet Moto franchise will get a reboot and be relabeled as a sports title and licensed by EA. But, you know, some of that is just wishful thinking. Next thing I happened to catch on the interwebs this week was the trailer for Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, or A Game Rebooted, or we were drunk as hell 2 years ago and we didn't really mean anything that we released. So that's our bad. To catch you up to speed, Final Fantasy XIV came out about 2 years ago. It had tons of problems, it had tons of issues, and it was really only Final Fantasy in name only because it was a crappy MMO with a Final Fantasy label. All I can say is this is laughable at this point that they want to go with a whole $14.95 a month thing in a world where most MMOs are free to play, especially when you have a highly touted Star Wars game that is going free to play later on this year. I mean, instead of fixing crappy MMOs, we could get an update on Versus 13, but you know, that's just me. And Paramount wants to amp up their animated feature films division. And if you don't know, Paramount owns Nickelodeon. What does Nickelodeon have? Legend of Korra. If you've not seen this show, I highly suggest that you see it. It's the best writing that I've seen in a kid's show since maybe Justice League. Hopefully they do consider making an animated feature film because The Last Airbender really sucked. Keep M. Night Shyamalan away from it. Don't make it live action. Let the actual creators of the show have a crack at the story, real creative control, and I think you got something brilliant. Let's hope something comes out of this because I think it would be awesome, especially if they bridge the gap between Legend of Korra and the original show. Also, in other crazy news, you have a Russian billionaire out there who says that he's going to make sure that by 2045, humans will be essentially immortal. I've heard similar things like this before, but check out this dude's timeline. In 2020, humans will be able to remotely control robotic avatars through brain-computer interaction. By 2025, humans will be able to continue to live after their bodies have given out, and they will place their brains into robotic avatars. By 2035, the human brain and consciousness will be able to be recreated via computer model and transferred into said avatar to enable them to keep living after death. By 2045, the human brain and consciousness show up in the form of a holographic avatar, which by then you got an essentially immortal being. I'm kind of skeptical on that. I really don't think it would happen that fast. I think that's insane to think something would happen that fast. Granted, we got our technological advances and stuff, but I don't really think that's gonna happen. Let me know what you think on that one. And that leads me to the question of the week. The question of the week this week is, if you could do one crime and get away with it scot-free, never get caught or anything, what would that crime be? I personally would either rob the Federal Reserve or the World Bank, stealing probably $100 trillion and using half of that to fund NASA and advance mankind or something along those lines. That would be incredibly awesome. Leave your comments in the description below and we'll talk about it. And that is my time. Thank you for enjoying the J.U.I brand vlog. I'm your host and rapper and all of that other stuff, J.U.I. Let me get rid of this thing right here. Yeah, so social media contacts are in the description below. Everything I talked about is in the description below. Do a radio show Tuesday nights, Wear Radio, 8 p.m. That's in the description below. Thank you for everything. Comment, rate, subscribe. Do whatever you do. Please like my stuff. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Also, I'm working on a podcast with me and a couple other friends. We're going to be talking about geek stuff, comic stuff, more stuff that I just do on here. But it's like an extended version so you can cut the grass and listen to us and laugh. Remember, every Wednesday, at the latest Thursday, since these videos have been coming out Thursday, I'm just gonna say primarily Thursday. And until next time, I don't know. Let's go ahead and try this little thing out right here. Peace.